This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Whether you're packing for a vacation or dressing for a wedding, Nordstrom has head-to-toe looks for wherever summer takes you. From swimwear and bold color to romantic florals and dresses that make an entrance, find the right style for every unforgettable moment. Shop new arrivals from brands you love like Farm Rio, Free People, Vince, Wait, and Stod. Plus free shipping and returns and styling help whenever you need it make it all so easy. Shop now in stores at Nordstrom.com or download the Nordstrom app.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
My practice is based, like my first book, looking at the body from the inside out. We use non-surgical interventions, low-level laser therapy, functional medicine testing, chiropractic movement assessment. My left hand is all the things I can do, proverbially speaking, with chiropractic. My right hand is meeting nutrition. Both of them look at the body from the inside out. Together they meet and make a health handshake. So if you have a condition that isn't resolving from the traditional medical model, I'm the guy to give a call to, and I'll let you know if I can help you. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Marks from Go To Health. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We have a fascinating guest with us today. I think you're going to enjoy his interview very much. His name is Robert Silverman. He's a doctor of chiropractic. He's a clinical nutritionist. He's also an international speaker and author. And he's author of the book Inside Out Health, A Revolutionary Approach to Your Body, an Amazon #1 bestseller. His extensive list of educational accomplishments includes 6 different degrees in clinical nutrition. He also maintains a busy private practice as the founder of Westchester Integrative Health Center, which specializes in the treatment of joint pain using functional nutrition along with cutting-edge science-based non-surgical approaches. He sees people in the office in Westchester, but he also sees people online, so don't be afraid to get in touch with him. You can reach him online at drrobertsilverman.com. It's drrobertsilverman.com. We're going to talk with him about a number of topics today, including his book, Inside Out Health, also what is functional nutrition, also how gut bacteria affects your entire body and how to change them for the better. We'll talk about reducing inflammation, how to lose weight through simple lifestyle changes, and how sitting less and moving more can improve musculoskeletal health. Again, you can reach him at drrobertsilverman.com. That's drrobertsilverman.com. And before we get to the doctor, just a reminder and a request. If you could please leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify or a thumbs up on YouTube, it would greatly help us because it lets other people know how good our programming is. Thanks for your support. So welcome to the show, Robert Silverman. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Thank you. Glad to have you. So tell us about your book. It's called Inside Out, A Revolutionary Approach to Your Body. What's in the book overall? And then I'll ask some more specific questions about it. What's your approach?
You know, it's interesting. I've written 2 books. That was my first one. Inside Out Health is really a periscope into fixing the body from the inside out. We all look at the outside. I was teasing you before about, Brad Pitt, and, he looks great from the outside. But the question is, what does his inside look like?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to look at the health and the body from the inside out. And it's multiple ways and layers to really ascertain how your health is looking from the inside.
Good. And so tell me about gut bacteria, because I know that's a big part of the insides, and I've done research on that with 18 university hospitals in Europe about the gut-brain connection. But let's talk about gut bacteria and their role and their importance of having healthy gut bacteria.
You've done a plethora of research in the gut microbiome, gut barrier health, and the gut-to-brain axis, which incidentally I like to refer to as the superhighway to health. Whatever you do to your gut, you do to your brain. Whatever you do to your brain, you do to your gut, and you do it in a millisecond. But all of that is truly controlled by your gut bacteria. So your gut bacteria is on the inside of your intestinal wall. It communicates through the outside of your intestinal wall through something called a neuropod, which connects to a vagus nerve, which communicates with your brain. So now that I gave everybody a heady answer, the bottom line is the microbiome, your bacteria, really is speaking to you. It is your expression of a lot of different things. Did you know that if you positively affect your microbiome, you not only will decrease gas and bloating and brain fog, but you'll also decrease all the symptomologies or many of the symptomologies from mental health issues.
Hmm. Tell us more about that. It reduces mental health issues by having good gut microbiome. How does that work?
It's fascinating in that the change in the environment decreases these symptomologies because bacteria are expression. So, it's very funny. I live in New York City. We were kidding her about it because I'm from New York and you're from New Jersey. So there's always that little rivalry going on.
Right.
And I'll walk in the city on, say, 42nd Street, and I'll be with my wife. And, there are people in the street who unfortunately scream at you. They talk to you. And the real question is, are they a little off or is their microbiome off? Because the microbiome is without question leading with chemicals, communicators to your brain, and leading you to how you may want to act or not act for that matter.
Hmm. So tell us about how the gut bacteria also affects not our only our mental health, but the physical health. What's the connection there?
My best way to describe this would be the gut is the epicenter of your health. 80% of your immune cells are in your gut. It's where your macro and micronutrients are absorbed. However, there's a gut axis, there's a gut to joint axis, there's a gut to liver axis, there's a gut to brain axis. The look behind the curtain is the ecosystem, your microbiome, which is your gut bacteria. But it's not just bacteria. We know that. It's an ecosystem. It's viruses. It's parasites. It's a neighborhood trying to live in harmonious symphony, if you will. When you have dysbiosis in bacteria, it cascades. Dysbiosis, the leveling of good and bad bacteria, it cascades to a poor health sound or health communication. So bacteria is 90% of our human cells. We're only 10% human. Our DNA is 99% bacteria. That said, I think we need to worry about our bacteria just a little bit more. And to pile on, those people who take the idea of antibiotics just as a lifesaver really need to really look at themselves in the mirror and understand that we may not want to use them as consistently as they do.
Got it. So tell us, how do we fix our gut bacteria? What is the way to improve the state of our gut bacteria and our microbiome?
5 steps, real easy. Number one, food. Good food is a potentiator for health information. It's our way to communicate with the outside world. Bad food is a potentiator for inflammation. That would be one. Number two, exercise. Exercise has shown to really incorporate its ability by the release of myokines. Myokines are specific protein structures that come from the muscle when they contract. And these myokines actually communicate with the gut and put them in a cascade of health promoting properties. Number three, probiotics. Now, probiotics are a live bacteria, but more so than the probiotic, I believe you have to have a pro with a prebiotic. A prebiotic is like fiber, it's fermented foods. The reason I want a pre and a probiotic is very simply the prebiotic feeds the probiotic and allows it to cascade and ultimately populate the area. Number four, chill out. Just relax. Stress is very deleterious to the gut environment. And number five, get good sleep. A couple of hacks on sleep. 7.5 hours of good quality sleep have shown to help the gut microbiome. And sleeping on your left side is a much more advantageous position than sleeping on your back or your right side.
Why is that?
Because they found that you're able to detox your brain more effectively on your left side. Your brain, when you get good quality sleep, shrinks to about 40% of the size. So if you watch my hands, it's squeezing your brain, it's squeezing out its metabolic waste. So good quality sleep, good brain health, good gut health. Remember, the body's all interconnected, but the epicenter of that interconnection is your gut.
Now, the first thing you mentioned was good food versus bad food. Tell me about good food. How do we define good food?
Well, for me, good food is food in its purest form. So the number one thing that I would take away would be ultra processed food. 57% of the calories consumed by the American adult population is from ultra processed foods. So I'll tell you what not to eat, and therefore whatever I say not to eat is anything that you'd like. You can be my Huckleberry at that point. Number one,
Okay.
GPS, no gluten, no ultra processed food, no added sugar, DNA, no dairy. Sorry, cow and farmers, I apologize.
Hmm.
No nicotine. Stop with the nicotine patches. Cut me some slack. No way. And A, no artificial sweeteners. So GPS, DNA, and IRS, inflammation reduction strategies. How would I do that? Well, number one, no processed seed oils. Olive oil, yes. Avocado oil, yes. Macadamia nut oil, yes. Canola oil, no way. No deep fried foods.
And
You can
why so no on the canola oil? What's so bad about that?
Canola oil is processed seed oil. It's an omega-6 and without question is very detrimental to one's overall health. So I
Hmm.
want an oil that's much more pure. That's an omega-3 and omega-9. The average American has a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 of 25 to 1. For good health, we need it to be 4 to 1. So we have an exponential increase in our omega-3 fatty acid consumption.
Hmm.
I don't want to add to that. And the last thing for the inflammation reduction strategies, no food sensitivities. And the reason for no food sensitivities is remove foods that you're sensitive to. I believe it's one of the biggest reasons for chronic hidden inflammation because food can generate inflammation, like we spoke before, but a
Right.
food sensitivity takes 3 days to raise inflammation. So, how would you know if today is Wednesday, let's say, on Saturday, that because you're inflamed, it was the broccoli you ate on Wednesday? You wouldn't. How would I know as a practitioner that the food that you ate on Wednesday raised your inflammation on Saturday? Well, this really exemplifies the need to test and not guess.
Hmm. Got it. Good. Tell us about functional nutrition. What is that? I've heard the term many times. I know that's one of the things you practice, but I don't really know what it is.
Well, there's functional nutrition, there's functional medicine. So let's start with functional medicine. That was created by the godfather of functional medicine, Dr. Jeffrey Bland. He was nice enough to write a foreword for my book, Immune Reboot. So Dr. Bland based it on the fact that he thought that medical doctors too often were chasing symptoms. So there's thousands of symptoms, but it's better to use the symptoms to analyze the systems. There's 12 to 14 systems in the body to ultimately get to what we like to refer to as root cause resolution.
Hmm.
Well, the game has changed, or as we like to say, the game is afoot. It's not root cause resolutions. Functional nutrition is root causes resolutions because it's usually more than one cause. Because with longevity being the incisive conversation of 2025, there's a myriad of things that can lead to longevity or leading to earlier death and more on health.
So you mentioned before exercise. Tell us what's the importance of exercise in, I guess, getting rid of accumulated toxins and reducing inflammation, but also bone and joint health. What does exercise do for us? Because I know so many of us are couch potatoes. So why do we need to get off the couch and move?
Well, exercise, one of the biggest advantages to exercise is the building and the maintenance of muscle mass. Muscle mass is the currency of longevity. We all need to have a certain amount of muscle mass. Sarcopenia is something that many people suffer from. Sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass as we age, but also muscle strength. Even just posture is based on muscle mass. Did you know the muscle mass is an endocrine organ? The more muscle mass you have, the more efficient you're able to dispense with blood glucose and blood glucose levels.
Hmm.
Muscle mass also, as I alluded to earlier, produces something called myokines, which are protein enzymes or structural proteins that are released during exercise. These myokines have very health promoting properties. In addition to that, you also burn calories when you exercise. And I think the biggest thing, just to wrap it all up in a nice tight bow, is the decrease in blood sugar. If I had to pick one egregious thing, it would be high blood sugar and high insulin resistance. It's not cholesterol,
Hmm.
it's blood sugar, it's insulin resistance. Take those old markers and put them to the bottom of the list. Don't put them at the top of the list.
Got it. So you're really talking about diabetes here, correct?
Metabolic syndrome, diabetes, any kind of blood sugar dysregulation. When you talk about blood sugar dysregulation, there's now something that is no longer called diabetes type 3. That was Alzheimer's. It was so proficient and so prevalent that they decided not to get rid of that. Now we have another diabetes, which is called diabetes 1 and 2, which has characteristics of autoimmunity and blood sugar dysregulation. Drop your blood sugar.
Got it. Let me tell people where they can go to learn more, because then I want to talk about more about your practice. People
Thank you.
can go to drrobertsilverman.com. That's drrobertsilverman.com. And you're located in Westchester. Tell us about your practice, doctor.
My practice is based, like my first book, at looking at the body from the inside out. We use non-surgical interventions, low-level laser therapy, functional medicine testing, chiropractic movement assessment. My left hand is all the things I can do, proverbially speaking, with chiropractic. My right hand is meeting nutrition. Both of them look at the body from the inside out. Together they meet and make a health handshake. So if you have a condition that isn't resolving from the traditional medical model, I'm the guy to give a call to, and I'll let you know if I can help you. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can.
Good, wonderful. So drrobertsilverman.com, that's drrobertsilverman.com. Tell us about the low level, what did you say? Low level,
Low level laser, non-thermal laser. It has revolutionized the way I practice.
what does it do?
It enables the release of photonic energy to stimulate healing in the body via cellular reconstruction, cellular regeneration, and cellular communication. It increases mitochondrial function, hence ATP, oxygenation, and neurotransmission. You don't feel it because it's not a heat laser. In the news now, there's so much conversation about red light therapy, which is shown to be 7% efficient. It's shown just to heat. Whereas this is non-thermal low-level laser based on the release of photonic energy working at the inner layer of the mitochondria, helping the mitochondria produce ATP and decrease its production of reactive oxygen species, which incidentally is anti-aging, which obviously helps with longevity.
Good. I was just going to ask, what conditions would you use low level lasers for?
The one that I use in my office, we always start with, because with my chiropractic background, there's always a lot of musculoskeletal questions, rotator cuff, discs, concussions. Then we branched out as we've evolved into neurodegenerative disease, Alzheimer's. We laser people's guts because it's shown to help attenuate specific types of pathogens and parasites. We're now at to the point where we're using laser protocols for Lyme disease, long COVID, and a myriad of things that incorporate mitochondrial dysfunction.
Good. Now you're in Westchester. Do
Correct.
you have to see people in the office, or can you see people virtually to help them with their issues?
I have an office space. I see people several days a week in the office in person. Love to do that. We can test in the office. We use laser in the office. You get to see me. I can tell you some jokes. I can have some organic coffee with you. But we do a lot of work virtually. And the work virtually really is relying on a lot of nutrition, anywhere from Lyme disease to weight loss. Probably the biggest boom in the last year has been alternatives to GLP-1. Oof. Talk about the elephant in the room.
Let's talk about that. Tell me about GLP-1 and why we don't like it.
I think we like the ability to have a accurate and stimulated GLP-1 signaling. And when it initially came out, so I have my tribe of three that I meet with, three medical doctors of all Ivy League ilk, brilliant guys, caring doctors, an anesthesiologist, a neurosurgeon, an orthopedic surgeon. And I came in and I was a little hot. I wasn't Rob from Scarsdale. I was Bobby from the Bronx. And I
Okay.
came in and I was hot. I was like, what are you guys doing with this? Ah. And, they made some valid, articulate points because they're all true erudites. In that they said if somebody's 400 pounds, clearly you would want to do something immediately where drugs and lifestyle it didn't work. But for the bulk of the people that are being offered it, and by the way, the estimates are that the survey says 93 million American adults have said that they would love to take a weight loss pill or an injection. So to signal the GLP-1, it really exemplifies the idea of the gut to brain axis
Mm-hmm.
because there's a GLP-1 receptor site on the Leydig cells in the intestines that communicate with the dorsal medial hypothalamus in the brain. There's one on the vagus nerve. So this whole superhighway to health communicates. GLP-1 communication enables you to have a feeling of fullness or satiety before and after you eat. There are a lot of natural substances that provide GLP-1 and are quite effective without the side effects. So I would consider if I had to lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 40 pounds, and I wanted to hold on to my muscle mass, and I know you're going to tether into that,
Mm-hmm.
I would do it naturally.
So the GLP-1 actually reduces muscle mass? Is that what happens?
The GLP-1 has shown to lose 40% of the weight comes from muscle mass. Now, if
Oh,
muscle's your
wow.
longevity organ, isn't that an incongruent statement?
Right.
They lose 40% of their muscle mass, but here's the kicker. Here's what the statement that usually has people put the slow on the roll when it comes to GLP-1. It's that you're losing 40% of muscle mass from your heart as well.
Wow. That just
Wow.
blew me away. That can really affect your heart health.
That was without question, that's a mic dropping moment.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that.
And let's
That's
talk price. The average American's willing to spend or will spend 12 to $16,000 a year on GLP-1. Many insurances cover it. So why are they being pushed? Like, what's the look behind the curtain? Well, the look behind the curtain is one big dollar sign because Nordisk cost them $40 to produce it per month and with a 10% profit margin and $40. Let's just cut to the chase. America sells that 1 month supply for $1,346.
there's a
Germany
markup.
sells it for 59. That's a good markup. Germany 59, England, the UK 92, and Canada 155. $1,346.
In the United States. Quite a
That's a
markup.
problem.
And what can we do? What can we use instead of GLP-1?
I'll give you 5 supplements to do. So always lifestyle. Everything always starts with lifestyle. That's at the top of the funnel and comes down. So any kind of exercise is shown to stimulate the GLP-1. Any kind of stress reduction is shown to stimulate the GLP-1. Any kind of appropriate intermittent fasting. So for me, an intermittent fast means don't eat in the first hour when you wake up. Don't eat 3 hours before you go to sleep. Specific nutrients that'll help intermittent fast: berberine, protein, glutamine, omega-3 fatty acids, bitter melons. Did you know that the more bitter the vegetable, the more bitter the food, the more stimulation you get to the GLP-1? The sweeter the food, the less stimulation. And last but not least, non-thermal low-level laser, my device of 2025,
Yep.
has a positive effect on GLP-1 signaling.
Amazing, amazing. So again, people, if you want to learn more, you can go to drrobertsilverman.com. That's drrobertsilverman.com. We've also been talking about his book, Inside Out Health, A Revolutionary Approach to Your Body. And we will have a link to that on our website and also where we publish on YouTube and also on 8 podcast networks. But Dr. Silverman, before we leave, what question haven't I asked that I should have asked? Or what really important message would you like to end this interview with?
Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. And don't forget, health is wealth.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. I really appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Good, good, good. We've been talking with Dr. Robert Silverman. Again, he's the author of Inside Out, A Revolutionary Approach to Your Body. He's also the owner and the proprietor of Westchester Integrative Health Center in West. And what town are you in
I'm in
Westchester?
Hartsdale, New York, in
Hart-
Westchester County.
Hartsdale. And again, you can learn more at robertsilverman.com. Dr. Silverman, thanks again so much for being with us today. It's been a
Thanks.
pleasure to have
My
you.
pleasure. Anytime.
Good. We'll have you back again, I'm sure. Great. So everybody, thanks for listening to us. Again, if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, please leave us a 5-star review on YouTube or Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening to us. It really helps us get the word out and continue to make this content free. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go to Health. And as we say at the end of every show, go to health. God bless. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in today to Go to Health. You are one of almost 10,000 people per day who enjoy the evidence-based health information offered by our guest health experts. You can watch us on our website and YouTube and listen to us on 8 podcast networks. Be sure to join Jonathan Marks in our upcoming shows each week. If you like our show, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to the show, join our email list, send us feedback, browse through the online store, and view our library of over 150 shows at gotohealthmedia.com. See you next time, and remember to elevate your life with Go to Health.